Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the Millennial Man Cave. Your boy Jeff's back in the house, and we are getting into some rebuild action again today. Now, which one are we doing? Well, as you can see, it's Cincinnati. Season 1 went really great, guys. I was really happy with how the team was able to turn things around. I feel like we literally just got that first imprint of first understanding the team. Number 2, starting to make the adjustments of how we feel like our team should be going. And then number 3, being able to get them to a 500 level was awesome. You know, we only finished 2 games over 500, but at some points, we were battling for a wild card spot. And in one season, I would say that's pretty fantastic, wouldn't you? Now, we are getting ready to get into the second season here. This offseason took me a lot of time, guys. You are going to see some massive organizational changes that I have brought to the Cincinnati Reds team because I genuinely feel like we have some great potential here. Are you ready to see those changes? Let's get into it. I'm going to try and remember every single detail of every single trade. But let's get started here. Right away, you're going to see some changes as starting pitcher. So here you have it. Luis Castillo, obviously our ace. This man's going to be a boss for us. He's 90 overall right now, 26. German Marquez, who we got at the end of last year. Really excited to see what he brings to the roster. Mike Clevenger, officially acquired in the offseason from Cleveland, will now be a part of this roster. Chad Bettis, of course, we got last year. Going to be in the 4 spot right now. And Henderson Alvarez, who apparently dropped a little bit, is going to be that 5 spot. And I signed Irvin Santana for a quick little deal. You know, in case we get an injury, he could step in. And as a reminder of what we had left over from last year, actually, I signed Freddie Peralta, saw him available on free agency. Not entirely sure why. We jumped on him. Brendan Finnegan still kicking around. Sal Romano, Robert Stevenson, and then some of our rookies. Corbett, Suarez, who we acquired. Tyler Malley still down here. So we got some names coming up. I love the Bs. Look at all the B guys. The potentials here are really great. Of course, Hunter Green, top prospect right now for Cincinnati, at least for a pitching sake. Victor Gutierrez. So we got some good names here of what's to come. Now, we don't know how quick the Cincy team's going to be able to win, but based on how I make the team, I try and win now while still being able to be responsible for the future. So let's move on to the next one. Relief pitchers, you can see there's been some changes. So we had some issues with regards to how much the cost was of a lot of guys that we had. So we had to balance it out. Carl Evers Jr. obviously is our number 1. Adam Ottavino stepping in at 2. Adam Liberatore, who we acquired in a trade. You may be looking familiar. You see me with him in the Blue Jays franchise, or at least the rebuild. And Chef Tom and I is a guy, we've dabbled with him before in our franchise modes. Drew Steckenrider, acquired from the Miami Marlins. Just wanted to get a little bit younger. The overall is pretty much bang on to what we were looking for right now. And he's got a beat potential, so we'll take it. Will Smith, also acquired from San Francisco. Wandy Peralta. Crockett still kicking around from last year. Ross Stripling we acquired from the Dodgers. He looks like he's dropped a little bit here in spring training. But I mean, these averages are going to change and these overalls are going to change as we go into the regular season. Austin Bryce still here. Amir Garrett. So a bunch of the names you guys know still kicking around here from last year. Closing pitchers, we still got Iglesias, and as I said, San Francisco trade, there's Hunter Strickland, who we did acquire. Again, you will know from the Jays rebuild. He did great for me there. I want to get some help on the relief side. Strickland's going to be that guy. He's only 30. I think we have at least a good 2-3 years out of him. Looking at our catchers, yes, there is a little bit of change here. Austin Hedges, I did drop. I didn't want to invest like $5-6 million in 2 catchers, and that's essentially where I was at. So Tucker Barnhart, I think, was still at like a 2-point-something million, almost $3 million deal. He's 80 overall. He had a good year for us last year. And Tony Wolters, we're a little young here, pretty well the same age, has a little bit more upside offensively than Hedges did. So I had to take my chances and see what else I could do. Tyler Stevenson, obviously, still standing around as our big prospect to come up. He's almost 70, and he's only 22, so one to watch there. Looking over at first base, yes, you will see Eric Hosmer is no longer with the team. As I mentioned, the offseason was incredibly difficult. And why was that? Because they don't have the money to put a great team together, and it's just easy, sign what you want, go do what you want. So it came to a point where I couldn't even sign the guys that we had from last year's roster to get pieces to trade from and make moves. So I had to officially get rid of Hosmer, who was $10 million on the cap. And I was able to bring in some bigger pieces because of it. So we'll keep moving forward. Brendan Belt is going to be our number 1 everyday catcher now. You know, he brings some pop. I had to replace the pop. He's good defensively, or at least decent. And enough that he'll stand in here, and he's only 30. So he'll be working for us. As you can see, the rest of our first basemen here all holding down those B potentials. Fingers crossed, some of them panned out. Going to second base, you'll see Scooter Gennett, officially signed. He's back with the team. I think it's like a $5 million deal. So not too bad. He played great for us last year. Had a half-decent average with a lot of home runs. I'll take it. I like it. I think he's a half-decent player. I'm good with it. Yangervis Solarte we signed just for some organizational depth. He was a free agent. He's 31. I think I signed him to like a 2-year deal. I'll kind of go every year, every 2 years with him, play it out, see how it feels, and then kind of go from there. Third base, you will see the massive change. Jose Ramirez coming on over from Cleveland. This was a big part of the Hosmer deal, I believe it was. So 26, he's a 90. He's locked up for a little bit on a great contract right now. I think he's only making like $5 million. So a big piece for us here. You'll notice that Suarez is gone as well. And that also led to some other deals. So how do we get there? Well, I made this deal because Nick Senzel is going to be coming up eventually, but he's not ready right now. Plus, he can play short and second base, so I may try and use him around the infield. I'll see where he works best for us. But right now, we needed a star player, and Jose Ramirez can be that guy for us. A great hitter. He's got some pop, pretty good defensively, and I want him at the hot corner. Now, moving on to shortstop, you'll see Jose Peraza still kicking around for now. No other major changes here besides some of the rookies that we drafted, so you got those two little Bs in the bottom. Going to our left field, yes, there he is. Trey Mancini, which was that Baltimore prompt you saw when I jumped in. Got him out for left field right now. Adam Duvall is gone. We got a little bit younger with this deal. Mancini's a guy who's still up and coming. Duvall, I think, was only like a 78 or 80 by season's end. Mancini's young. I think he'll be an upside, like close to 30 home run guy per year, which would be really good for us. And then, of course, we still have Chavez, Winker, and Taylor Trammell, who's an A-rated prospect coming up, with Dwight Vaccaro at the bottom, who I believe is the guy we drafted last year for his player draft. Moving on to center field, yep, you'll see changes again. So guys, Billy Hamilton was asking for an $8 million a year contract. I can't like physically get that through my head when the guy is like pretty much stealing bases and that's about it. His batting average is about 212. I think he had like 3 home runs. That to me is not worth an $8 million guy. Now a guy who's making $4 million, $5 million here in Ender Inciarte is fantastic. This guy can hit. He's a better overall. He's 28. He's got everything. Good everything. Look at this hitting. Great contact hitter. Great fielding. Good speed on the base path. Yeah, he doesn't have a ton of power, but he can hit for some home runs. If he even gives me 7 to 10 home runs, but bats between 280 and over 300, this deal for us is phenomenal. It plays all over the outfield. We got Alberto Almora Jr., who we acquired last year. He's going to get some looks this year. Magneuris Sierra, he's kind of kicking around from last year. Jose Siri, I believe we drafted. And then going to right field, you will see, yes, Will Myers is still kicking around, but I went out and we also got a little bit of depth, a little bit of power. Nelson Cruz, a 1-year deal, nice and simple. Will Myers was a guy that I kind of played around with, potentially shopping and making a bigger deal for, but he's only about a $7 million cap hit, so I'm going to hold him for now. He's only 28. He did get great home runs last year. I think he batted like 279. So we'll run with it. We'll see how it goes. That officially is the roster right now in spring training, so let's sim through and see what these new Reds are looking like. So we lost to Cleveland. We're 2-6, 4-6, 6-7, 9-8, 9. Like I mean, spring training doesn't count. We're playing a lot of our crappier guys, unfortunately. But I mean, that's what this is about, trying to figure out what you have. So we finished spring training, 3 games over 500. I'll take it. I mean, how can we be mad about that? Let's go try and get this roster set up. So we are starting against Clayton Kershaw. Great. Let's get started against one of the best pitchers in the league. Potentially of all time. That's great. The revenues are looking pretty good. As you can see now, the trade talks. I love this, kind of showing you the depth of your roster. So third base, starting rotation, center field, and right field are now great spots for us. But look at everywhere else right now. We're really up pretty much in the top 15 and 16 for catcher and shortstop. Does that mean that we fast-tracked this rebuild mode? I guess only simming will tell. But right now, we got to get this thing prepped and ready to go and understand where we're at with our players. So here we go, our 1 through 5 for our starters. Castillo, Marquez, Clevenger, Bettis, and Alvarez. I think we got a lot of upside here. I'm kind of excited to see we have some guys who might also be able to make it up here in case we have some injuries. And then we got Irvin Santana, who's going to be a great step in case of injury as well. Relief pitchers, looks like they got this one pretty well down pat. Edwards Jr., Ottavino, Liberatore, Steckenrider, and Smith. And then we got some, obviously, pieces down here that will definitely make their way up in case of any injuries. I'm really hoping to see guys like Wandy Peralta and Amir Garrett hit their actual potentials that they've shown in the real show. Because really, to me, they're not a 73, 68 kind of people. Amir Garrett was one of the best relievers for Cincinnati last year. Closers, yep, they got Strickland and Iglesias. That means we are bang on for where we need to be. Let's go check out our catchers. Walters and Barnhart are up, so that's perfect. Brandon Belt going to hold it down at first. Scooter Gennett and Yangervis Solarte are up. That's perfect. Jose Ramirez is up. That's for sure. Nick Senzel is officially up at AAA now. So this is a guy who we may potentially see pretty much be up as soon as next year, depending on how well his development goes here. So I'm kind of excited to see Senzo come around. Shortstops, Peraza is up. Left fielder, we have Mancini and Winker up. You know what? After last year, we do have to keep Winker up because he batted like 340. So he's a guy that's going to stick up with us right now. Ender Inciarte, he's up with Almora Jr. 88 overall, man. I'm going to love seeing this guy in a Cincinnati uniform. And then, of course, right field, we have Myers and Cruz. So we have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outfielders. But Mancini can play first base, so it does give us a little flexibility. Winker's only outfield. Inciarte only outfield. Almora only outfield. Myers, I know, plays first as well. And then Nelson Cruz pretty much just plays right and left field because he doesn't have speed. If you watch Chef Tom and I's Pirates franchise mode, you know this man cannot get around and make plays in the outfield. So one thing I'm a little bit worried about this right now is that we don't have any extra depth in the infield. But, I mean, we do have those guys who can play first, which will kind of give Belt some time. And then Solarte pretty much plays everywhere. So I think we're going to run with this for now, even though we're not in the AL and have a DH spot. But we signed those guys for a reason. So let's take a look at the lineups here. They got Inciarte, Belt, Ramirez, Cruz, Jeanette, Mancini, Myers, Solarte, Barnhart with the DH. No DH, Inciarte, Belt, Ramirez. Pretty much it's the same thing, but Cruz is out of the lineup. And then versus lefties, Peraza, Almora Jr., Ramirez, Cruz, Mancini, Myers, Belt, Jeanette, Buckhart. And then, of course, no DH, minor changes. It was, who stepped out of the lineup there? I think it was Inciarte. So they bounced it a little bit. I'm excited to see how this team responds to our new trades. Let's start simming through here. We're going to get to, yeah, how about here? Let's get a little bit through April. So we did take some wins there. Wow, this team right now, guys. Wow, oh wow, 9-4 to start the year. That was pretty hot to get started. And I'm seeing some big dubs come here. We are 16-7 in April. This is ridiculous. All right, guys, keep up the W's here. Can you imagine if we could win a World Series in 2 seasons? 21-10, these Cincinnati Reds. Wow, wow. The MMC footprint has been put on this team, no doubt right now. We just got swept by Milwaukee, so that was a big one. Wow, what a trade. Jose Berrios heading on over to the Braves from the Twins for Ronald Acuna Jr., who's supposed to be the best prospect in baseball right now, but he's in the show, so technically it's Vlad Jr. And Aaron Blair. That's actually a massive deal to see go down. We're 25-16, so we just took from San Francisco. We swept Kansas City. We lost to San Fran that time. We split the series with Washington. We took the Pittsburgh series, so we're actually 13 games over 500 and only a couple days away from the first player draft, so I think that's where we should go to. We took the Minnesota series, and we lost both the little mini-series there to the White Sox. Now's the draft. Let's see if we can get some extra pieces in here and see what we can do. So we're drafting at 16. So center field, we are considered balanced. We got Richard Encarnacion here as a shortstop, which apparently we are seen as thin. He looks like he's supposed to be ready pretty quickly. So I might go off the board here and see if we can get Richard Encarnacion to step in as shortstop, help out that depth there. What else we got going here? Off the second round, what do we got? Leandro Cervantes, closing pitcher. So 2022 he's supposed to be ready, but I'm seeing a couple starters here, which I know we're very deep at, but they should be ready by 2020 apparently, which is technically next season. Lorenzo Cedeno got some fantastic numbers. Stanley Meadows from Canada. Yep, nope. He's Canadian. He's from 2020. He's going to be ready soon. We're drafting him, putting our footprint back on here. We got rid of Joey Votto. We're bringing him back a Canadian. What do we got here? So we have a second baseman, which we were presently thin at. 80 overall, 2023 plus, Sean Dages. So he bats left. He's 6 foot, right hand throwing. He's got a lot of secondary positions, which is always great. He's a good fielder, but it looks like he's probably a good fielder at best. He's pretty much an average to above average hitter. The Leandro kid is still kicking around here. Leandro Cervantes, left-handed closer. He's got good velocity, good control, pretty well in the above average and elite area. So that's something we might want to monitor. Although for second base, you know what? Let's go with where we need the depth. And we're going to draft this kid right now. He is green. He is supposed to be good according to that. And if the closer is still around, nope, we lost him unfortunately. But center fielder Hank Weaver, 2023 plus, looking at good contact, half decent power, which is literally above average for the most part. Good plate vision. Fielding's pretty good. He's got some half decent speed, half decent reaction. Okay, so, you know, not a bad choice for us right here. Let's get some more outfield depth. Because, like, Winker And even when we had Schebler, like those guys, again, not guys who have hit their full potential like they should for Cincinnati. Oh, Leandro Cervantes. Okay, so he is still here. So I'm actually going to draft him now. For some reason, he wasn't at the top of the list anymore. But still kicking around. He's been staring at me in the eye now for a few. So we're going to take that pick. And then now we're starting to get down to the nitty-gritty here. So we're still in the 80 potentials. We got a couple of those guys left over. So let's see. So we got the starting pitcher, Lorenzo Cedeno, still around. Charles Green, reliever. Another starting pitcher in Freddie Ybarra. Akira Sato, 19. And then Avery Sandoval. You know what? I'm going to go with Lorenzo Cedeno. He's going to be the most ready and quickest ready. So we ended up getting both of those starting pitchers, which is phenomenal. Can never have enough depth there. And as we trade guys as we need to. Third base is balanced. They got Chester Jamison, 65. Not looking forward to that. Charles Green, 65 right now. But he's got good H per 9, half-decent velocity, break. Yeah, okay. Arm accuracy is good. Arm strength is good. Injury risk is low. He's 22, so he'll be a little bit older out of the draft, which means he could be ready sooner than later. So we'll take that. We drafted pretty much in the middle of the pack. Let's go see how our draft picks panned out this time. Okay, so not horrible. Richard Encarnacion's a 62 already. He doesn't look like he's going to pan out per se. So I may leave that one. It's kind of unfortunate. We got 283s out of Stanley Meadows. He's a B. So we'll throw him a sign. What else we got? Sean Dages. So this was the one they told us to draft. So he looks like he's going to be a half-decent infielder with some outfield potential. We'll sign him. Hank Weaver, 53 is a C. Not really going to wait that one out. Leandro Cervantes. So that closer. He was calling me for a reason. We'll let that go. And then Lorenzo Cedeno's a C, and then so is Charles Green. So we got fake news there a little bit. I may throw Hank Weaver a sign, just because, I mean, he's bound to be a 78, which is a good depth guy. And then even Encarnacion might not be that bad. He's 62 already. He could help out the minors, just fill up the AA, AAA system. And then these two guys I'm okay to pass on. 74, 72 is not even worth us kind of looking into. So now we'll continue to go forward here. What'd I do? Bingo, bingo, bango. There we go. Okay. We'll continue to sim here. I think we'll go till right here in June, and then we'll start assessing our team and the numbers. Because, you know, we might be making some trades. Because that's what we do. The All-Star game's coming around here. Milwaukee, we just lost the series, but we took from Pittsburgh 3 of 4, which is great. So 47 and 31, guys. So where does that leave us in the standings right now? That officially puts us at a half game back of the Brewers, who are 48 and 31, which I'm assuming means we're probably well into a wild card spot at the very least. Let's take a peek here to see who are the top prospects in baseball. Just want to kind of follow up to see if any of our guys are kicking around, because we didn't check that earlier. So Bo Bichette is apparently the tops, which is shocking, because you'd imagine it's Vlad Jr. And apparently he is playing on, or did play for Toronto at some point this season. It's Jack Flaherty for St. Louis. Yeah, he's definitely up there for them. Has jumped up in real life this year as well. Tyler Beede, a name you'd notice from the Blue Jays rebuild if you watched that. Sixto Sanchez, a name that I've almost acquired a couple times. Do we have anybody from our team? Tell me we have some half-decent prospects here. So Franklin Barreto, former Blue Jay. Cal Quantrill. Nick Senzel. Here we go. So we got a couple. Nick Senzel, Taylor Trammell at 34 and 35. I definitely like that. Is that it for us? That would be it. Okay, so we got two guys kicking around. That's great to see. Let's go roll over now to our roster, how I usually check out our numbers and take a peek. So our ace, Luis Castillo, is 92 overall right now. 7 and 5, 2.82 ERA. That's phenomenal. German Marquez, 3.6. Marquez, 3.6, 2.04 ERA. Phenomenal, buddy. Mike Clevenger, 6 and 6, a 4.23 average. Not great, but not bad. Henderson Alvarez continues to impress here. 6 and 3 with a 3.84 ERA. Chad Bettis was 3 and 2, went down with a 3.93. You know what? Let's call up Finnegan. He's been dominating the minors. 8 and 1 with a 1.91. And with Bettis' injury, we are going to need him to come up and fill that last rotational spot. Looking at the relievers, Carl Evers Jr. is not having the best year, but he's not having a poor year either, I'd say. 2 and 1, 4.86. Ottavino, 2.72, 1 and 1. Liberator, 6 and 1, 2.2. So he's cleaning up a lot of games for us. Stripling, who's in the minors, has a .26 ERA in 35 innings pitched. That's ridiculous. So Will Smith has not been playing great. Steckenrider has not been playing great. But we got Stripling and Peralta, who are pretty much ready to execute at any given time. So I'm going to send Will Smith down. We're going to move him to AAA. And we're going to call up Ross Stripling, who is pure fire in the minors right now. Oh, sorry, we got to add him to the 40-man roster first. I did not notice that he wasn't. And we will call him up to the show to help out the rotation right now. And I think, like, I'm going to watch Steckenrider. I might look to call up Wandy, because this might be the time where we can actually get him in the lineup. I mean, you take a look at the sample size here for Wandy. It's so small with only 9 innings. But you take a look at Steckenrider, who's eaten 35. So, the next update we come look, if Wandy's still up, we'll call him. Looking at the closers, so Iglesias looks okay. 2.31 ERA. And Hunter Strickland, 5.05. So not great, but still pretty much better than some other guys we've had going right now. Look at the catchers. So Barnhart's at an 81, 262 average, 5 home runs. I'll take that for my switch hitting catcher. Tony Walters, in his short opportunities, is batting 292. We'll take that. Brandon Belt's got 225 with 8 home runs. Just do your thing, Brandon. Hold down the spot at first. Scooter Jeanette's batting 271 with 2 homers. I'll take that all day. Yanhervis Solarte, who apparently just always wants to perform, 290 with 9 home runs. Fantastic from your backup utility infielder. Jose Ramirez showing very well in his first year with us here. 274 average, 11 home runs. Nick Senzo's up to a 74. Not too bad. Jose Peraza, 246 and 2 home runs. Trey Mancini is having a year right now. 306 average and 15 jacks. Jesse Winker not having as great of a season. So that's kind of disappointing to see. He's down to 69, 167. Ender Inciarte, 285, 6 home runs, and apparently he's cold. Albert Almora Jr., almost 300 with 1 home run. Yet again, small sample size. Will Myers got 18 jacks, 264 average. Nelson Cruz, 268 average, 4 home runs. So, we'll take that. I mean, the numbers don't look that bad. I'm actually pretty happy to see that. We have Franmil Reyes, who I believe that, I can't remember if I signed, because he was just a young prospect, but 224, 8 home runs in the minors right now. He's actually a 70 and better than Jesse Winker, but I'm going to give Winker some time to come back here. So let's go back over, get back into some sim action, maybe to the All-Star break here. See if we can get some dubs going. So we take 2 from Detroit. We lost series to the Cubs, lost series to Kansas City, lost the Phillies. Trade alert here. Jonathan Scoop going to the Dodgers for Dennis Santana and Jaron Kendall. Okay, so the Atlanta series we just took. The Pirates are calling. Hunter Green and Nick Senzel for Jamison Tyon. Okay, so you're talking about literally our best pitching prospect who's A-rated and Nick Senzel, who's a phenomenal third base prospect who plays infield, for one guy. Yes, I agree Jamison Tyon is a half-decent pitcher, but he's not worth those guys, man. That's a terrible offer from the computer. This guy's trying to fleece us right now. Continuing to go through the Milwaukee series here. We already took 3 of 4, and we swept the 4-game series. So we're going to skip through this. We're 20 games over 500 in July, guys. This didn't even happen that fast with the Blue Jays. This is impressive. Let's go down and get to this Colorado series down here. Okay, we won the Colorado series. We won the Miami series. Looks like we did just have an injury come back, which I'm going to assume is likely our pitcher. Hold on. So now it looks like, is Marquez injured? Yeah, so Bettis is back now. We can send Brandon Finnegan down. Great spot starts for you, buddy. I'm glad to see that you look like a guy we can trust going forward. It's always good to know the pieces that you have in the minors. Knowing that Finnegan's going to turn out half decent makes me happy. San Diego, we take 3 out of 4. Man, this series right now is fantastic. Let's scroll through here. The Colorado series, trade deadline. Okay, we are going to stop here. We are 67 and 43. Where are we at in the standings? We are now 3.5 games up on the Cubs. Where does this leave us? So, let's go check out our rosters. Luis Castillo, 9 and 6, 302. Ender Inciarte, nope, let's go by position. Marquez, 262, 8 and 4. So happy to see that guy come around. So Clevenger is still not playing great. 6 and 9, 451. Chad Bettis, 4 and 2, 3.9. That's not bad. Henderson Alvarez, 9 and 4, 3.12. Looking great. So Peralta's doing good in the minors. Finnegan's doing great, as we saw. And Stevenson, 8 and 6. I love it, guys. Santana's down there as well, winning some games. So I'm happy with the depth. I think Clevenger I'm not too happy with. We may look to move him before the deadline and get an upgrade. Carlos Jr. brought his ERA down, looking good. Ottavino's destroying, 5 and 1, 238. Stripling's doing amazing since coming up. Liberatore's doing phenomenal, 224. Steckenrider, that's not going to fly, brother. Okay, so he's officially going to get sent down to the minors. And we're going to call up Wandy Peralta, who's pretty much on the same wavelength at this point. Same overall. Peralta's going to come up. We'll see if that changes anything. I may even look to move Steckenrider because I can't accept that kind of overall, to be quite honest. Kyle Crockett's a guy we can call up who's not having a bad season. So maybe Steckenrider, maybe Clevenger are going to leave. Looking at the closers here, 206 for Iglesias. Strickland has brought the ERA down a little bit, which is good news. Barnhart still doing pretty good, 246, 5 home runs. Tony Wolters, 245 and 1 home run. Brandon Belt, 250, 11 home runs. Scooter Jeanette, 279, 3 jacks. I'll take that. Solarte, still giving us some power and upside. 277, 11 home runs. Jose Ramirez, 15 jacks, 268. Nick Senzel, still doing pretty good in the minors. Jose Peraza, 261, 4 home runs. Trey Mancini, 22 home runs and the 292 average. That is incredible, guys. This was my last acquisition before shooting episode 2, and it's just looking better and better. Jesse Winker, attaboy. Average coming back up, 292. Mind you, very small sample size, 24 at-bats. Ender Inciarte, 9 home runs, 302 average. Albert Almora Jr. and 164 at-bats, so a little bit of a better sample size. 274 and a home run, I'll take it. Will Myers, 23 jacks, 277. Nelson Cruz, 265 and 4 home runs. So he's starting to drop off a little bit here for overall-wise, but he's still somewhat performing. And Franmil Reyes here, getting some reps down in AAA. So I think I'm going to take a look to see if I can get one trade going here, guys. Maybe 2. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, guys. So we officially have a deal here. Ready to go a little off the board. I think right now, with how well the team's playing, I'm going to reward them. I'm going to get them a legitimate young starting pitcher to jump in this rotation. A little bit younger than Mike Clevenger. Lance McCullers Jr. off the championship Astros of 2 years ago. Or I guess in this game 2 years ago, as of last year in real life. McCullers Jr., a young Lou Valdez. I'm going to bring an arm back. I'm going to move on from Clevenger, Steckenrider, and Suarez, and get an immediate upgrade. So I'm going to make this deal right now. This should help us out right away with our roster. And I think from there, I'm pretty well going to lead it. You can see, look, McCullers Jr. actually just jumped up to an 87 since we acquired him from the trade. I like the depth that we have here in behind, so I'm feeling okay for starters. You know, looking at our relievers here too. Again, Kyle Crockett, Amir Garrett, like these guys are ready to step in. So Steckenrider, his name is, okay to go. I'm okay with these as well. And I think everywhere else, for the most part, I'm going to leave it as it's being. Everybody's kind of pulling their weight. It looks like somebody's stepping up when it needs to get done. So let's hop back to some simming action, guys. That was a pretty quick trade deadline for us. Nope. As they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So no massive changes. Clevenger's, unfortunately, was on the way out, playing very poorly for us. We just swept St. Louis there. So we're seeing the Dubs still come around here. A couple losses towards the beginning of the month there in August. So we're going to go right through here to September. Lost the series to Milwaukee. Come on, guys. Now's not the time to lose. I know you guys miss Clevy, but now's the time. So our AAA team just finished 87 and 53. And the AA team, the Blue Wahoos, 45-25. So apparently our minors and our normal team is winning right now. So AAA team just won the International League Championship. They're taking on the Bisons of the Blue Jays. AA, any updates on those guys? Come on, let's go. How many wins can we get here? AAA lost by Buffalo. What are the odds of that? And there you go. The Blue Wahoos have been defeated in the Southern League Championship Series by the Generals. It's all right, guys. You made the playoffs. It means our young guys are looking good. I'll take that all day. So how many wins are we going to push it this year? We're up to 93. And we get 95 wins, guys. The Reds are back in the postseason, baby. We finished 95-67, 586 winning. And we're taking on St. Louis. But before we do that, let's go see the rosters. Let's see how everybody finished this year, guys. Luis Castillo, 200 innings. 15 and 10, 302. Unbelievable. Lance McCullers Jr. goes the rest of the way, 18-5, 249. I think he was about 10 and 3 when he came over. So he played half decent in his starts. Alvarez finished strong, 11 and 6, 301. German Marquez slowed down a little bit. He finished off 9 and 7, 338. Chad Bettis, 7 and 5, 373. So you know what? I'm very, very happy with the way that team is looking there. Ottavino here, 8 and 3, 321, is averaging up a bit. Carlos Jr., he went back up for average ERA. I'm not liking that. Wandy Peralta played fantastic since getting called up. Liberatore, 9 and 4, his average went up a little bit for ERA. Ross Stripling, 2 and 2, 332. I'm okay with it. Still got Crockett and a couple guys here, obviously, we can call up. Iglesias, 163, brought that ERA right down. Awesome to see. And Strickland brought his ERA down. So the bullpen did step it up towards the back end. Tucker Barnhart, 9 home runs, 249 average. Tony Wolters, 2 home runs, 231. So we didn't get the output from the catchers. But Brandon Belt did bat in 20 homers and a 250 average. We'll take that. Scooter Gennett, 8 home runs, 281. Solarte, 12 home runs, 280. Can't be mad with those guys. Jose Ramirez in his first full season here in Cincinnati, 22 home runs, 282. Nick Senzel's up to a 75. Jose Peraza, 11 home runs, 276. It just kind of feels like everybody kind of held their weight, you know? Trey Mancini, 33 home runs, 281. 30 home runs. Jesse Winker, 276, 1 home run. So, again, only 29 at-bats this season. Ender Inciarte, 15 home runs, so some upside for power, and an almost 300 average. That's great to see. Alberto Mora Jr., 265, 2 home runs. Will Myers finished with 29 home runs, so almost 230 home run guys, 265 average. And Nelson Cruz, 282, 4 jacks. So, obviously not doing too much. Franmil Reyes looks like he dropped a little bit. And Joseph Johnson, who I believe was also a random signing of ours. Yeah. Came up at 1 home run, .095 in AAA. Great stuff. But he's a 70, so we'll take it. All right, guys. It's time for the one-game playoff. Martinez against Castillo, who are almost identical. Almost identical. Wow. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Your boys are moving on, guys. Here we go. Going to take on the Cubs in the National League Division game. So we got Lance McCullers against Darvish. We take the win. Alvarez against Hendricks. We take the win. Can we sweep Chicago Cubs? Marquez for the victory, guys. Moving on. Here we go. So who are we taking on? Since we got the sweep. Oh, Washington's in town. Okay, here we go. Luis Castillo against Max Scherzer. We take the loss there. A tough loss, too. Scherzer, and Castillo took the loss. That's tough, man. 4-3 game. That's tight. McCullers Jr. against Strasburg. Oh, that's a loss. Okay, we're back up against the wall here, guys. Alvarez against Gonzalez. Come on, Alvarez. Ooh. Okay. This might be the end of the fairy tale second season run here right now, guys. Marquez, Scherzer come back up again for Washington. Oh, we take the victory. Okay. Chad Bettis is going to take on Joe Ross here. And that's a victory. Let's go, guys. Game 6. Castillo against Hellickson. Oh, my God. Game 7. McCullers, Strasburg. Let's go, boys. And the W. Woo! The Cincinnati Reds are going off to the World Series, baby. Could it be? Can we do it in 2 seasons? Okay, here we go. Henderson Alvarez against Mike Fulmer. That's a W for the boys. Okay, Castillo against Claudio. That's a W. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. A 2-0 lead in the World Series. Lance McCullers against Chichi Gonzalez. That's a loss. Okay, come on. Come on, boys. 2 wins. Let's go. German Vasquez against Michael Fulmer. Oh, a tied series. This is a 3-game series now, guys. Alvarez here back up for us. Going up against Mike Minor. Come on, boys. That's the W for the World Series. Luis Castillo, Matt Koch. And there you have it, baby. The Cincinnati Reds are World Series champions. I broke my own record, guys. We're the worst team than the Blue Jays. Reds won the World Series. Holy crap. Okay. So this series is over already. Because I just won the World Series in Season 2. But before we end off the episode and before we take on our next team, let's go check a look. Just go check and see how everything looks here. Let's go see. What do I want to check here? The awards. Yes, let's go do the awards. Oh, looks like we got a lot of good stuff here. Okay, so the World Series MVP goes to Jose Ramirez, 407 average, 1 home run, 6 RBIs. The MVP of the league, Max Scherzer, it looks like it. He had a 20-5, phenomenal season for him. Okay, Cy Young went to Scherzer, which is he's won 3 years in a row. Batting title went to Corey Seager, 317, 26 home runs. Archie Bradley, reliever of the year with 50 saves. Rookie of the year, Fernando Tatis Jr. First baseman, Hank Aaron Award went to first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt, who had a phenomenal year, batting 300, 44 jacks, and 119 RBI. Parker Bridwell won the Gold Glove. Wilson Contreras, Freddie Freeman, Joe Panik. Jose Ramirez gets a Gold Glove for third. Dansby Swanson, shortstop. Peralta, Conforto, Gomez. Silver Slugger, Syndergaard, Contreras, Bellinger, Gyorko, Bryant, Seager, Hoskins, Dickerson, Blackman. And Brandon Belt is the postseason MVP for the champion Cincinnati Reds. A 4.11 average, 7 home runs, 11 RBI. We just got him to fill in first base, man, and this guy panned out. So there you have it, guys. I don't even know what to say. This one's done. So I'm going to go back through your comments. I'm going to see what other challenges you guys gave me, and we'll pick another team. So I kind of went AL, NL. Maybe I'll jump back to the AL. I'm going to leave it as a surprise. I got a couple teams that you guys gave me who I'd be really interested in doing as my next one. So you guys will see that sometime in the near future here. So guys, thank you so much for dropping by again. It's been a quick Cincinnati rebuild. We're the champions, baby. That's officially a new record for me. 2 seasons until a championship. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to do it in 1, considering every team that I'm picking is a rebuilding team. So if I can pull it off in 1, I would be incredibly impressed, and I hope you guys would too. But even 2 for me is insane. So I'm so glad we brought Cincinnati back to a championship. This was awesome. Guys, I'm going to leave you here. Thank you so much for dropping by again. If you're loving the rebuild series, make sure you're hitting that like button as hard as you possibly can, and I'm going to keep bringing them to you. Comment, leave the fire comments. We'd love that. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you know when the next rebuild series comes out, so you know when franchise is coming, so you know when Road to the Show is coming. All that good stuff, guys. And the only way you know that is by subscribing and turning on ring the bell notifications. Below in the description, guys, you're going to find all of our social media pages. If you're not following us, go check it out. And of course, our partners, Clutch Chairz, Insane Labs. The products are phenomenal. We got some promo codes for you guys below to save some money, get some great products. They're MMC Boys approved. We tested them. We loved them. So we were happy to partner with them after we, got our chance to really view them and try them or drink it on the side of Insane Labs. Sit in it on behalf of Clutch Chairz, which we're also going to be getting a Clutch desk very soon for the new setup, which you have to stay tuned for because that's coming up in the next month and a half or so. So you're guys have a nice review video of what the setup for the MMC will be looking like. And maybe we'll take some pictures of what the old one looks like. So I will show you guys on that video what we went through and what we got to. And then from there, guys, go check out Redbubble. The store is going to be in the link above, as always. Go check it out. Grab some merch. Great prices. Great quality. Rep your boys. Rep the brand. And if you guys have some ideas for merch you want to see, drop it to us. We'll have Drew the artist whip it up. Maybe it's something that we say, something that we do that you guys would love to see on a shirt or a sweater or something. There's a wide array of products on Redbubble. You can pretty much put any design on any product, which is really cool. So check it out. Thank you so much for dropping by again, guys. The Cincinnati Reds are champions. I will catch you guys on the next rebuild series. But what team? Stay tuned to find out.